Thank you for joining me for lesson 111 of our daily Sefer HaMitzvos study. Today we're learning negative mitzvah 157, the mitzvah not to profane, a verbal obligation. So this comes from Numbers 30, verse 3, which says, "He shall not profane his word. He shall do according to all the issues from his mouth." So it's forbidden to violate one's verbal pledge, whether that pledge was worded as an oath or not. So, an example of such pledges, he gives 5 examples here. If so and so occurs, or if I do this and this, all fruit or fruit from this city will become forbidden to me, or wine, milk, and fish are forbidden to me, or the pleasure of my wife's company is forbidden to me. Any pledge to that you've made to bring a sacrifice or give an amount to charity or to the synagogue, these things are um, are pledges that you have to fulfill. Um, Going back to, and I know this is kind of slightly changing subjects here. But in a case where you're in a court and you're obligated to take an oath, the judges give you an admonition. And this just kind of gives us the gravity to which we're supposed to honor the things that come from our mouth, that we're supposed to be truthful and we're supposed to be faithful. Um, so, what the judges would say is, we tell him, "Know that the entire world trembled at the time that the Holy One, blessed be He, told Moses," Exodus 20, verse 7, "do not take the name of God your Lord in vain. For with regard to all transgressions in the Torah," Exodus 34, 7 says, uh, "and he shall cleanse. And with regard to a false oath," Exodus 20, verse 7 states, "God will not cleanse one who takes his name in vain." With regard to all the transgressions in the Torah, retribution is exacted from him alone. With regard to a false oath, retribution is exacted from him and from his family who conceal the matter from him. Moreover, this causes retribution to be exacted from the enemies of the Jews, for the entire Jewish people are responsible for each other, as Hosea 4, 2, and 3 state, "swearing, denying, and murdering. Therefore, the land will mourn, and all who inhabit it will be forlorn." With regard to all the transgressions in the Torah, retribution is suspended for 2 or 3 generations if he possesses merit. But with regard to a false oath, retribution is exacted immediately, as Zechariah 5:4 states, "I have let loose the curse," declares God, the Lord of hosts. "It will come into the house of the thief and the house of he who took an oath in my name falsely." "I have let loose" implies immediately. It will come into the house of the thief. This refers to deceiving people. One who does not have money owed to him by a colleague, and yet he lodges a claim against him to require him to take an oath. "He who took an oath in my name falsely," this should be interpreted literally. The verse continues, "it shall destroy it, its wood and its stones." Entities that cannot be destroyed by fire and water will be destroyed by the false oath. Pretty. I just that paragraph there really stood out at me when I was reading Mishnah Torah on the section of oaths, and these are oaths issued by a judge. And remember, an oath is something that you have put upon yourself. A vow or a verbal obligation is something that you state that you are doing it. Now that is something that is different than an oath, and does not include Hashem's name. But we should still always um, follow through on the things that we say we're going to do. And it's a mitzvah not to back down from our verbal obligations. And in those cases where we intend to do something, and there we acknowledge the possibility that something else might come up or something like that. Like if we said, you're going to be there to meet with somebody at such and such a time or something like that. This isn't coming from Rambam or anything, but it's good to have the practice of saying a qualifier, of saying God willing, or with God's help, we will be, for instance, with God's help, we'll be having another a study tomorrow for lesson 112 for the next mitzvah, and so it's at least not that we want to not fulfill our vows. We should say yes, or we are going to do something, or we are not going to do something, and follow through. But it's also good to acknowledge that in the event that we're unable, that Hashem is ultimately the one who's ruling the world. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great day in every way.